Spoiler alert, I seriously doubt I'm going to get this painting done before the end of this video. But I am painting again, and I haven't been painting for a couple weeks. This can't just be me. If suddenly something happens and you just can't do your work for a while, you just can't paint, you just can't sing, you just can't do your writing for a little while. Like you're on a roll, you're going, and maybe life gets in the way, or you just get tired, you have a little bit of a burnout and you need to take a step away. After a little while, you start having this anxiety that you're never gonna get it back and you're never gonna create again. And as I'm sitting here painting, I am reminded, as I am every single time this happens to me, that there is a natural ebb and flow to creativity. There is a bit of a cycle. There's a working and a resting part of the cycle. And just because I have not been feeling incredibly inspired doesn't mean I am never going to paint anything again. As a person who has quit and given up too often in life, is very hard sometimes to tell the difference between when I'm just having a little bit of a burnout period where I need to take a rest and when I'm actually being lazy. For many, many years of my life, like most of them, I believed that my struggles and the fact that I was really good at getting started, but not really good at building on a foundation and not making a lot of progress in my life professionally or creatively, I thought that was me being lazy. Laziness is not what I thought it was. For most of my life, I believed I was a really lazy person, and that was why I wasn't successful at things. I thought it was like a moral problem. I just was lazy. I would start things, I would be really enthusiastic and focused, but then I could never stay the course. I would get scatterbrained and go all over the place, or I would just quit for some reason. Even if I had put a lot of work into something for a long time, I never built on the foundations I created creatively or professionally. Most of the issues I had with staying focused and staying on task have nothing to do with laziness. The fact that I never picked one career and did it for 25 years or 30 years has nothing to do with laziness. That has to do with who I am. I also didn't know anything at all about ADHD when I was younger. That's part of it. I got some new plants yesterday. This one's named Garrett. It's a golden pothos. It's beautiful, but a bit disheveled. I am the furthest thing from a lazy person. You're probably not lazy either if you have ever been labeled as a lazy person because you are a creative person who kind of goes from one thing to the next, and you're a little bit scattered and it's really hard for you to stay focused. I'm not telling you have ADHD, go to a doctor. Please don't get super frustrated and be mean to yourself when you go through times when you're a little scattered or not very productive. Creativity is cyclic in its nature. None of us are pumping out wonderfully inspired work all the time. Nobody actually does that. I originally thought this was going to be like this really bright, in-your-face, solid orange, but I am now loving the depth and the texture that's going on here. I'm not putting a second layer on it. It's a happy accident. This is literally a Scotch Brite sponge was under like a sink somewhere in my house. I don't usually do the sponge thing, but I really want this to have a texture that doesn't look like a brush stroke. So sometimes I have to cave in and use an actual art technique like the sponge. I don't usually do stuff like that because it feels too complicated to use multiple tools. I want it to kind of look like, you're actually looking into another world behind the orange wall. And the other world is teal for some reason. I think this is my favorite shape. It looks like a keyhole or a cool doorway. Usually I don't like texture. Not that I dislike it so much as I just don't really know what to do with it. All my work ends up, the colors end up looking like really super flat. Or just really in your face, really obvious. Subtlety is not my thing. I'm a pretty messy artist, and in a lot of ways I do things unconventionally just because I'm like, it works better for me. But there are also times like the sponge thing where I find I don't use or don't learn traditional art techniques because I think my art wasn't worth a good technique. You know, just those stupid self-esteem problems we have, these beliefs we have that we get kind of from the world or whoever about, you know, our art not being valuable or our expression not being good, and we're always trying to shrink ourselves, you know, and just be like, oh, well, you know, it's just kind of this little hobby I have. It's not really something that important. And then it's like, here I'm not communicating something because I could be using a technique that would make something clearer and would express what I'm trying to do better. And I'm not bothering to learn the technique because I think what I have to say isn't valuable enough. That sucks. It's been like 5 days since I recorded the last clip. Guess who's still burnt the fuck out? Me. Mostly things are good. I just haven't been making very good YouTube videos in the last couple weeks because I don't remember why I do this. I'm not here to complain about being tired. I'm here to inspire you. Yay.